morning, my name is Lori. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. Topic number 5, treasure. This week there were so many yard sales this past weekend that eventually we just stopped because we were exhausted and tired and done. Both on Friday and on Saturday, we had had enough fun. We found some good stuff though. Let me show you the treasure that we dragged home. Topic number 6, thoughts and challenges. Here's my challenge for this week. I am getting ready to go on, Honey wants to go on a trip for our 40th wedding anniversary, and so does Dan. So we are taking her to Yellowstone. So next week, it won't be found a friend, it'll be found a place. We've been to Yellowstone, Dan and I have been to Yellowstone before. 4 times, or maybe 5, I'm not sure which, but we have been there several times and love Yellowstone. So I will have some pictures when we get there to add to my video, and it will be found a place next week. And I know it'll be gorgeous because it always has been. And except for the time when the person pulled sideways across the road with their big camper because they saw a bear a mile up on the hill. Oh my gosh. That's why they have parking areas, people. That's why they have parking areas. Anyway, my challenge this week is to pack and I'm going to try to get it into one project box. All the things I need to keep me busy while we travel and while we're out and about, and so I can film some things as we go, but I will be a little bit ahead so that videos will still show up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But all the things I need to keep me busy and out of trouble when we're in the car or in a hotel for long periods of time. This leads to the Hexie project. And I'll be talking more about this because it is a great thing to dust off and take along. But I will share the packing process with you here in a little video. I bring to keep me out of trouble a Hexie kit with butterflies and all the Hexie pieces I showed you. Hexies to make butterflies. A portable camera stand, thread, a charging block, numbers to help me make a Friday show, embroidery floss, and some embroidery pieces, the piece to embroider on, and coloring sheets. Let me go to the other box for just a moment. I'll show you what's in it because it didn't all fit in this box. And it's now raining on me as I stand here. I have a travel journal. I have my little sewing box. I've got colored pencils and the other embroidery piece that I'm working on. For my literary corner today, topic number 7, I have an oldie but goodie book. I told you it would be a book, not a magazine for this week, and it is McCall's Needle Treasury. The copyright is 1969. It is an amazing book. It doesn't have a lot of color pictures. My favorite part is in the table of contents, there's a list of colored pictures. That is so funny. So Here is my, and somebody got this bought this in 1972. Her name and the date are in the beginning of the book. If I ever decide to take up knitting, this will be my resource because this book was written by someone who knits. Let me share it with you. Let's go to the video. Enjoy. Here we are with my treasure from this weekend, the McCall's Needlework Treasury, 50 cents. By the pound, that's about a cent a pound. It has all sorts of things. I have a Michael's version like this, but it does not have as much detail. Let me show you the inside of this book. Remember, I said in the intro that here is the table of contents for the colored illustrations in this book. I will not show you everything, but there are your basic stitches, and this book isn't as detailed with the embroidery stitches. Oh, there's a colored illustration, and I did go through and mark things like there's some alphabets that I thought were interesting, and there is an applique that I thought was interesting. Not to make it exactly like it is, but to get a starting idea. Let's see which one of these comes first. And then there's a quilt pattern for an applique and pieced basket, as well as the quilting. Not a lot on quilting. Some block pieces. I'm intrigued by the duck and duckling block, and of course we've been talking about the mosaics. I got that one, okay. And I just marked things that I thought would be interesting. Now here is a rug, a hooked rug, but I thought these roses would be great in the center of an applique and then the reverse below, so I marked it. And then here's the knitting lessons for beginners. So if I ever decide to take up knitting, and there are patterns for all of these kind of stitches. My Grandma B used to do those kind of stitches. And there's mittens and socks, all kinds of, and I thought these would be interesting. This would be interesting as a quilt pattern or a cross stitch embellishment. It's really meant to be a knitting pattern for gloves, but I thought that was interesting. And then if I flip on through, there's, oh, that's a knit one, but there's crochet, and the crochet things, doilies, but the crochet things are not as, I don't know, they look folksy. Talks about how to put on sequins on your knit. And then there's filet crochet, which is absolutely beautiful. We have a filet crochet of our name up here on the wall made by someone who worked with my husband, but absolutely beautiful. And there are patterns for those. There are also, oh, that's more crochet. I'm flipping through very quickly. Hand loom weaving, and this yard sale had hand looms there. I didn't, metal ones. I was surprised. And it has things like embroidered netting, like to make a shopping bag with a gold scarf in it. And there's also how to make bobbin lace. I have some of these little bobbins somewhere. Grandma B used to make some of those kind of things. Braiding and knotting. There's a picture of a loom somewhere in there. How to enlarge and reduce designs. This was interesting. How to divide things up. How to make a star. How to take care of embroidery. All kinds of things. How to reupholster a chair with needlepoint and make a pattern so you weren't doing extra. There's the how to make a bobbin lace loom. Very interesting. Look at that iron. I have one like that. It has no water tank on it. Someday I'll show you my iron collection that came with this house. Talks about different yarns, how to do body measurements and fit pieces, how to fix a neckline, all those kind of things that I don't think they teach in home ec anymore. All kinds of goodies, glossary, with everything you could possibly want. And then they have additional embroidery stitches, the very fancy stitches that aren't your typical stitches. So 50 cents worth of by the pound, worth every penny. Last but not least, viewer contributions. Even though I am filming this early, I do have a couple viewer contributions to show you. My friend Amy, who just retired, you saw her beautiful beach sunset pictures a couple weeks ago. She made this bag out of the seam trimmings from jeans. Her daughters were making jean quilts, and these were the seams that were cut off of all the jeans. She wove them together to make this fantastic bag. I love how she used the yellow accents from something that would have been a wild yellow pair of pants. Just saying. My son used to wear parachute pants like that when he would sled ride over top of all his other clothes, that bright yellow. She did a fantastic job with those cast-offs. She didn't say whether she lined it or not, but fantastic bag from Amy. Cheryl, our neighbor, and I have been working on Block of the Month for our Quilt Guild. So here is her block from April. It was a tulip, and it turned out so cute. I love the colors of her flowers. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Diana sent a picture of her farmer's daughter block with dark gray blocks in the center, lovely paisleys and yellows, very soft looking, very nice, Diana. And this is for my brother-in-law Buzz. Diana was at a car show for her son, and he was participating in the car show with a car he had worked on. That is all I have for today because I'm filming this so early. Next time I see you, we will be out and about and exploring all kinds of places. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday for Upskill Monday. Thank you. Remember to like and subscribe.